Hello, this is Amin, and this is session 20 of ASP.NET Core tutorial. In this session, we are going to talk about a strongly typed view. If you remember, in previous session, we talked about dynamic view and we review ViewBag and ViewData to transfer data from controller to view. In this session, we are going to talk about a strongly typed view and passing data from controller to view with model. If you want to convert your dynamic view to a strongly typed view, in the controller part, you should remove the view bag, which store your information that you want to pass to the controller, to the view. And instead of that one, you should store the data to a model, and then you should use another overload of view to pass model to view, same as the second part of this slide. I mean, this part which is related to strongly typed. As you can see, in the dynamic typed, we store data in viewBag.cost, which is dynamic property. But in strongly typed, we store the data to a variable which is a type of cost model, and then we pass model to view with one overload of method. And also inside the view, as you can see, the differences between dynamic type view and a strongly typed view. We should use model directive, and as you can see in the first line of the strongly typed view, we add a model directive and the type that we want. And instead of using ViewBag or ViewData, we use model dot field of object that we have, the property that we have. In a strongly typed view, fortunately, compile time error is enabled, and also we can benefit of IntelliSense of Visual Studio. Let's flip to Visual Studio and do this process in our project. This is the project that we have been working throughout this tutorial. This is the controller that we worked, detail action method and cost controller. As you can see in previous session, we passed data from this controller to view with both ViewData and ViewBag. This time I comment this line which is related to ViewData, and I need page title be a ViewBag, but instead of passing the cost data to view, I use a cost model, and I create an object of cost model and I name it model equal cost repository dot get cost by ID, and I receive ID 1. I hard coded the ID that I want. And here, as I described a different overload of view, we can use one view to pass model data to a view, and now I use this overload of view method. This is the changes that I should do in the controller part. Let me save it and flip to detail view. This is the view that I created in during previous session, and I passed data to this dynamic view with ViewBag and ViewData both. This time, as I want to share this file to all of you, I mean, at the end of this session, I copy this view and keep this view for your reference, and I call it detail ViewBag ViewData, and then I change this view to a strongly typed view. Let me delete the lines that I don't need anymore. As I mentioned, the first step of converting dynamic view to a strongly typed view is using a model directive. I use model, and I should use the model that I want in daily cost web application. Inside models, I have cost model, and I don't need this part as well. And as I passed my data with ViewBag for page title, I should change it to dynamic property, and I should use ViewBag. If you're confused, if you check this part, I pass the page title to my view with ViewBag, and I pass a cost data with model, and here I use view back for the title, and also I can use it here to reflect in the top of the browser. And here, as you can see, I can use model. Just bear in mind, in this part, model should be with start with a small character, but here it should be a start with capital. And when I press dot, you can see I benefit of IntelliSense, and I can use the property that I want. This behavior of Visual Studio helped me to reduce runtime error, and also I can benefit of compile time errors. For example, if I write a month with typo, you can see I receive an error here. I want to show you that how compile time error works in a strongly typed view, and the rest of field and property that I want. Now I convert my dynamic view to a strongly typed view with first adding model directive and then restore the data in model with this way that I created. Let's save the project and run the project. As we expected, the project is running on home index controller and action method. Let me route to cost detail, and as you can see, this time I pass my data to the view with a strongly typed view. And let's back to Visual Studio, and if I remove this model directive or if I comment it, what will happen? Now I comment model directive, and let me save it and run the project once more. As you can see, it works without any problem, but the issue is if I remove or if I comment this directive, my view is again changed to dynamic view. If I mouse over on the all of these property, you can see it's mentioned it is dynamic, and if I use dots after a model, I can see the IntelliSense and the list of available property, method, and object after that one. That's why I should use this directive to convert my dynamic view to a strongly typed view. Let me uncomment this line, and as you can see, again, I have IntelliSense, and I convert my dynamic view to a strongly typed view. But as you saw, I move and I passed page title to my view with a ViewBag. you can do and you can perform your project on this way, or you can create another model, which is view model, and within that view model you can have all the property of cost, or the property of cost that you want to show inside this view, plus the extra data that you want to pass from your controller to your view. We will discuss about view model in further session, but just I want to mention you can pass your extra data with ViewBag or ViewData, or you can create one view model and pass all the data from controller to view inside that model. That's it in this session. Thank you for watching us. Link of text version of this session is available in description. Also, you can follow us on our social media. And don't forget to subscribe in our channel and click on the bell for receiving update from our side. Once more, thank you for watching this video tutorial.